What is up, YouTube? Z Dragons back with another video for you guys. And in today's video, we'll be going over Red Trafalgar Law in OP14. Letting you guys know this leader is absolutely insane. If you guys are enjoying the content, please make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. My goal for this year, before the end of 2025, is going to be to reach 30 subscribers. We are currently at 12, so please hit that subscribe button and let's make my goal a reality. Now, onto the leader. He is a red monocolor leader with 5 life, 5,000 power, the 7 Warlords of the Sea, Supernovas, and Heart Pirates type. Activate main once per turn, select 2 of your Supernova or Heart Pirate type characters, swap the base power of the selected characters with each other during this turn. This is a very good card to be able to cheat out some low cost bodies in the early game, and then in the late game cheating out some bigger power bodies, swinging with the bigger power rush bodies and swapping it to then swing with your low cost bodies. This deck is phenomenal, and I do hope you guys plan to play it and take some inspiration from my deck list. Now, to just kind of go over some notable cards here, we do have this 1 cost Monkey D Luffy searcher, searching the top 5 for a Supernova, but other than Monkey D Luffy, and adding to the top of your hand, adding it to your hand. And it also has a 1 attacking to give up to one of your opponent's characters negative 1,000 power during this turn. Also having this 2 cost Cavendish, which if it does have 5,000 power more, he gains rush. Another card I have is this promo Luffy, which is a 2k counter. Just because I do find there is a little bit of a limit on how many Supernova red 2k counters there are. So I do suggest you guys purchase these cards right now before OP14 comes out. Last time I checked, it was selling for about $12 USD on TCG Player. So if you are wanting to play this deck, please do pick up this card. Another notable card is this Captain Kid blocker, 4 cost, 5k power, 1k counter. On play, if your leader has a Supernova type, play up to 1 red character with 2,000 power or less from your hand, allowing you guys to just cheat out another body on top. Surprisingly, this 6 cost vanilla Bonnie with 7k power is actually very nice. If you're able to play out this card on curve, then being able to just start swinging 7s with your 1 or 2 cost characters is actually pretty good, guys. So definitely an include in the deck. Now we kind of look at the larger characters. The 7 cost Rush Zoro, 1 attacking, give up to one of your opponent's characters negative 1,000 power during this turn. And we are running only 2 of the 9 costs 10,000 power Trafalgar Law, which also has Rush. And on your opponent's attack once per turn, you may trash 2 cards from your hand. That's 2, guys. 2 cards from your hand. Very hefty price. However, you can select one of your characters, swap the base power of the selected character with the base power of your leader during this battle, just allowing you to better defend your low cost characters from being cleared from the board. But definitely trashing 2 cards is a little bit of a hefty price, so you probably won't be activating this too much unless you're planning to go for game next turn. Alright guys, let's get on into the gameplay now. And we will be versing a blue-yellow Boa Hancock this game. Our opponent choosing to go first. We do seem to have a lot of early game pressure, so we will keep the hand we have. Our opponent playing out a Gloriosa, searching and finding a 6 cost Gorgon Sisters. We'll play out the Luffy to search top 5. Grabbing the 4-cost kid blocker so we can look to cheat out more bodies in the following turn. And we'll pass the turn. Our opponent attaching all 3 down to the leader, swinging 8 into us. We will look to take that. And we will use the 4-cost, cheating out the Sachi Penguin. And then swinging 5 with our leader. Our opponent does take, playing out a Ran off of the life. And we'll use our leader's ability to swap the searcher and the blocker's power, swinging another 5 into the lead. And we'll just give a 1k to the Ran, but which doesn't really matter. Our opponent giving us a 2k. Very nice, being able to get a 2k for a 5,000 power attack. Our opponent swinging 0 into 0. We will look to just let that go. Now we may look on our 6th dawn turn to play out the Bonnie so that we can look to swing with the 7,000 powers Shachi and Penguin. Our opponent playing another 4-cost Ran. Swinging 6 into 5. We will look to give a 2k. And a 7 into 5. We will take this one. Now we can play out the Cavendish. But then we won't be able to swing with Shachi and Penguin. Because we are going to our 8 dawn turn and we do not currently have a play for 8. But we will look to play out the 6-cost Bonnie, testing our luck. And we will swing 5 at their leader. They give us a 2k, very nice. Using our leader effect to swap the Shachi Penguin and the Bonnie. Then swinging another 5 into the leader, giving minus 2k there. And they do take, and we will pass the turn. Very nice having 7k power counter in hand. Our opponent does play out a 6-cost Kuma, being able to heal 1, pitching the pudding. Swinging 5 into the 2, we will let that go. Another 5 at lead, we will look to give a 2k, just so that if we do not see a play, we can play out the Cavendish. And swinging 7 into 5, we will look to take that. Finding another Luffy search. And we do see the 7-cost Zoro, very nice for us. We may look to play out the 1-cost and the 2-cost, just so that we can play out the 7-cost Zoro next turn. So it might be better for us to just look for counter with these events. We will grab the 2k. We're going to 9. But I don't know if we really want to trash 2 cards from our hand, so we'll just grab a 1k. Then we will search. Seeing another kid blocker. We will grab that. Then we will look to go 6 to their lead. They do give us the event. But they did have 2 or more cards in life, so they are not able to stop our Bonnie from attacking. Now we will give the 7k power Bonnie attack. They do take as well. And they do hit a trigger to play out another Gorgon Sisters. We will play out another 4-cost kid blocker, cheating out the Cavendish with Rush, using our leader effect to swap the Bonnie's base power with the Cavendish's base power, swinging another 7 into life. Does our opponent have any counters in their hand? They do have 2 2Ks, and we will pass the turn. Our opponent does seem to be out. Out of counter, playing out a 9-cost Boa to heal 1 and give us 1 life to our hand. And our opponent will be coming out with a lot of attacks this turn. But we may be able to look for gain. Our opponent swinging 5 into 2. We will give that. Six into 5, we will give a 2k counter. 5 into 5, we will give a 1k counter. Six into 5, we do have enough to protect the Bonnie. So we will give a 2k counter. 7 into 5, we will give another 2k counter and the blocker, as we will look to play out the 7-cost Zoro. So now we will look to go for game. So we need 7, so we can have 3 to work with. We can go 6, 6, 6, 7, 8, and then 8. So we'll go 6, force our opponent to give us a 2k, which they do have. Another 6. They take another 6. They take. They do hit a trigger. We'll go 7. And our opponent is out of counter, and we do take the win. Not much for our opponent to do. We did see them using 2k counters for 5k power attacks. Just over countering, so we did know that they were very low on counter. And now on to the next one. And in this game, we will be versing Black Crocodile. We don't see much early game. We are going first. We will look to mulligan this hand. And we do see some 1-costs that we can play. So we'll play out the Luffy search. We don't have any 2Ks in hand, so we will look to grab a Bonnie 2K. Our opponent playing out a Miss Merry Christmas. KOing the Miss May Christmas to play out the 1-cost Miss Valentine. We will attach to her to lead, swing 7 into 5. Our opponent takes, and we will just play out a 1-cost Basil Hawkins and pass the turn. Hawkins, very nice, being able to let us search. Our opponent's swinging 5 into 5. We will look to just give the Hawkins in our hand for a 1k counter. And playing out a Mr. 4 Babe blocker. Now onto our 5 Dawn turn. We will attach 1 to our leader, swing 6 into 5. Our opponent determining whether to use the blocker or to just give a 2k from hand. And our opponent decides to give us 2 1Ks. Very questionable decision by our opponent. I don't think there was a reason to give 2 cards from hand. Now we will play out the Usus Kid, cheating out the Cavendish, then using our leader effect to swap the Kid's power with the Hawkins power, due to the fact that the Hawkins does have an on KO effect, which would be very nice if our opponent does choose to swing into it. And our opponent giving us another 1k counter, very nice. Taking out 3 cards from our opponent's hand that turn. Opponent swinging 2 into 2, we will let that go, and we will be able to search, grabbing a Supernova with 2k power or less. And we will look to grab the 2k counter Bartolomeo. Oh, it does play out. Okay. Which is totally fine, just due to the fact that we can attach 2 on to make him a blocker. I definitely misread that. Our opponent's swinging 7 into 5. We will look to take this, seeing a 6-cost 2k counter Bonnie, and passing the turn. Now we will play out the 7-cost Zoro with Rush, and first we'll swing just 5 with our leader. Our opponent does take. Then we will swing 8 with the Zoro. 1 attack and giving minus 1000 power to the blocker. And our opponent will give us the 1-cost plus 4k power event. Then we will look to use our leader effect to swap Zoro and the Luffy's power. Now swinging 8 with the Luffy, giving minus 1000 power. And they do give us the blocker. And they do added the 8-cost Crocodile from their trash. Very scary card, guys, and they will look to play that in this turn. The very fortunate thing for us is that we are able to swap the powers, so even if they do play out the 8-cost Crocodile, we can just swap the Zoro's power with one of our other characters. We will 5 into 0, we will let that go. And they do play out the 8-cost Crocodile, stopping our Zoro from attacking. Then KOing the 8-cost Crocodile to then play out another 8-cost Crocodile, stopping our Useless Kid from attacking now. But that is perfectly fine, guys. And we will play out the 9-cost Law this turn. But first we will swing 5 with our leader into 5. They do give us a 1k. Now playing out the 9-cost Law, swinging 10 into their 5k leader. And they do take. Then we use our leader's effect to swap the 9-cost Law with the Cavendish, swinging another 10 into 5. And they do take as well, hitting a trigger to search top 3, showing another 1 cost plus 4k event, and we'll pass the turn. Red Trafalgar Law might be one of the decks that can play very well into the Crocodile deck. We will let this go, not wanting to trash 2 cards from our hand. Our opponent most likely I guess we can expect them to play out another 8-cross Crocodile, stopping our Law, then possibly KOing this 8-cross Crocodile, then playing it out, stopping the Zorro. 10 into 5, we'll like to take that. Wanting to keep as much bodies on the field as possible. And we will not activate the trigger, because we do have a Bartolomeo anyways that we can use to swing. Our opponent KOing the 8-cross Crocodile to play out an 8-cross Crocodile, stopping our Law from attacking. Still having 10 Dawn, playing out another 8-cross Crocodile, stopping our Zorro from attacking now, but we do have another Zorro in our hand. And we do see a Kitten Killer, very nice card to see. So we want to keep 1 Dawn active for the event, as well as 7 Dawn for the Zorro, so we have 2 Dawn to work with. So we can swing 7. Seven into 5. See if our opponent will give us 2 cards from hand. And they will give us the 1 cost plus 3k event. Then we will play out the Zorro, swinging 7 into 5, or 8 into 5, giving -1 to one of the crocodiles. And they will give us the 4k power event. Then we will use our leader effect to swap the Law and the Bartolomeo's power, swinging a 10,000 power into the leader. They will take, and we will pass the turn, leaving 1 Dawn active. Our opponent is in a very tough spot. 5 into 2. Now, we may want to protect this, but then they would just swing the 10s. Because if they play out another 8-cost Crocodile, they'll stop, and then they'll keep using these on-KO effects. They'll stop 3 of our attacks. And then we still have these 2, plus we do have the rush, so we will let this go. We're going to have 3 attacks next turn. Very nice if we do see another Cavendish that can go in with rush. Swinging 10 into 8. I do believe we do have to protect this, otherwise they'll stop these 3 from attacking. So we can give 2-1. They do it again. We can give the event. So we'll give 2-1. $12 into 8. We can give the event plus a 2. And then now that way they can freeze, they can stop these 3 characters from attacking. Oh. They're playing out the blocker. Is there 2 blockers? No, there is not. And they did not KO the crocodile. Very interesting decision by our opponent. And now we can look for game. We'll swing 7 with our leader. Force our opponent to give us 2 cards or give us an event. Having 4 non-active is very scary though. And they give us a 2k 1k. We'll swing 9 with Zoro, forcing our opponent to give us the 1 cost 4k event plus another card. What will our opponent do here? And they are looking to use the 1 cost plus 4k. And they use another 1 cost plus 3k. Our opponent in a very tough situation here. Swinging another 9 into 5, forcing... And they do give us a block. Most likely going to add a 2k back into their hand. Now swinging a 10 into 5. Our opponent having another 1 cost plus 4k and giving us a 2k. And now swinging a 7 into 5. And our opponent does not have enough. And we still did have the Kitten Killer that we can play out. Use our leader effect to switch the power of the 9 cost Law with the Kitten Killer, making a 10k power, and then when attacking to gain another plus 2k power, making a 12k power attack. Very tough game for our opponent. It just seemed that Red Trafalgar Law just does do very well into the Black Crocodile. And now on to the next game. And we'll be versing Red-Black Sabo this game. We will like to go first, that way we are able to play on curve. And not really seeing much here, so we will look to mulligan this hand. Just to see more cards for early game pressure, and this hand is very nice. Playing out the Luffy to search top 5. And we will grab the Hawkins so that we are able to play it out the next turn. Hawkins alongside with Killer and swing a 6,000 power with our leader. Our opponent playing out a Garp Searcher, finding a Promo Sabo. And we do see another killer. So we can look to just play out all 3. And now we can keep giving rested with the killer. Swinging 7 into 4. Our opponent does take, and we will also play out the killer and pass the turn. Our opponent playing out the promo Sabo. Swinging 7 into 5. We will look to take that. Very nice thing, a Cavendish that we can give rush. And we will play out the 5 cost X Drake. Using Killer's effect to give our leader Rested Dawn, then swinging 7 into 6. And they do give us a 2k using the leader effect to swap the X Drake with the Hawkins power, swinging another 7 into 6. Our opponent does block, and they do give a 1k counter, and we look to end the turn here. Going into 7 Dawn, we will look to play out our Zoro. Our opponent playing the 6 cost Sabo, swinging 3 into 2. We will let that go. That way we are going to be able to play out a Luffy search. Searching top 5. Grabbing the 9 cost Law to have a 9 cost play on our 9 Dawn turn. Just kind of thinking ahead of time, guys. That is something very important in this game, is just thinking not only just 1, but 2 turns ahead. Our opponent swinging 7 into 5. We will look to take this, seeing another 9 cost Law. And our opponent not swinging with their other blocker. So we will look to play out the 7 cost Zoro over one of the Luffys. Then using Killer to give Rested to our leader. Swinging 7 into 6. Our opponent giving us a 1k and another 1k, giving 2 cards. Our opponent trying to determine what card to give, giving us a Shariah blocker. We'll swing another 7 into 6, put in the pressure on our opponent. Our opponent is more than welcome to give us any blockers. And they will block with the 8. So we might look to go for the blocker instead now. So we'll swing 8 into 7. Because we do know our opponent does not have any 2Ks in hand, because they gave us 2 1Ks. Our opponent does let the blocker go. We'll use our leader effect to swap the power of the Zoro with the Luffy. Swinging another 8 into lead. Also giving their blocker minus 1k power. They do take, and we will pass the turn. Our opponent's going to be in a very rough spot, as we are going to be dropping the rush laws. On their 8 Dawn turn, our opponent does need to play out the dragon, preferably the black dragon, so they can bring back a blocker from their trash, because we are very much on the offense here. Playing out a hack blocker from hand. And our opponent is swapping our Zoro's power with the Luffy. We will let it go. Our opponent playing out the stage, however, it is a little bit late in the game. Trashing the Black Spiral event from Blackbeard. Searching top 3 to grab another stage. Swinging 5 into 5. We will look to just give a 1k. And it is back to our turn. We will be dropping the 9-cost Law, using Killer's effect to give Restodon to our leader, swinging 7 into 5. And our opponent not giving a Dawn to their leader to make them a 6k power leader. And also knowing that our opponent did not have much counter in hand in the earlier part of the game, this is going to be very hard for our opponent to counter out of. Swinging 7 into 5 now. Our opponent is a very detrimental spot right now in this game. We will be going with another 10k power attack, swapping, oh yeah, they do take, and 10k power, give us a blocker. And they do KO one of the killers, which doesn't really matter because we'll just swap the power of the Law with the Luffy and swing another 10k power, which they will have to give us the other blocker. And we will pass the turn. There is not much for opponent that they can do this turn. Playing out the 8-cost Dragon to play out the 6-cost Sabo blocker. Their leader getting 1 Dawn. Swinging 3 into 0. We will just let that go. Just keeping counter in hand to protect our X-Drake. If their opponent, yep, swinging 7 into 7. And we will just give a 1k counter. Pitching the stage to grab a 2k counter, and now we can look to end the game. We'll swing 6 with our leader into 6. Our opponent just trying to math out our attacks and figure out what counter they should but it is just going to be over. There's not much they can do. We can't even look to just play out the Kid and Killer as well. They do block with the 8. We'll attach 1 to the X-Drake to swing 8 into 6, forcing at least 2 cards or an event. And they do give us an event. And they do stop our leader effect, but that is not enough. Our opponent does realize that we do just have game. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys do enjoy the content, please make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you guys on to the next one. Peace.